Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandan Brajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shirade Jaya Koranita Mayapur Sasi Jaya Koranita Jaya Mayapur Sasi Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Mai Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Vrindavan Dham Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Shri Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Shri Prabhupada ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai Hidai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Hare Krishna. So, yes, thanks for sharing it, Mataji. And what I was saying is, let me share my screen. In the morning, I was reading, and where it is? Yeah. So, can you see my screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
So, mm, where it went? Just 1 second. There's a nice pastime here, and I'm just searching for the specific one where I was reading today. Hmm. Yeah, here it is. So I'm not discussing all this stuff, just the specific one where you spoke about Bhagavad Gita. So it's being described that this Bhagavad Gita is the destroyer of all the sins, and that intelligent man who daily recites one chapter or even one sloka or one half sloka or at least one quarter sloka will attain the same position as Sushumara had attained. Sushumara says that the story of Sushumara been described. We'll discuss it one day. But the point, as the glories of reading Bhagavad Gita has been described here, that even if we could manage to read one chapter, or even one sloka, or even half sloka, or even at least quarter of sloka. Can you imagine it? Just one word, even if we do every single day, what will happen is we will attain the same position as Susamara. Susamara basically one the person is described here, and he got liberated by just hearing this Krishna Bhagavad Gita chapter 1. So this is the glories of chapter 1, right? So thanks for sharing, Mataji. Yes, yeah.
Thank you very much for the reassurance, Prabhu. That was so kind.
Yeah, so our scriptures are divine. They have all the things what we do, what Prabhupada has given us, all are from scriptures, all bona fide, so everything is all there. Isn't it? Okay, so let's get back to our discussion on chapter 9. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, so we discussed yesterday till text 19, where we discussed about how Krishna got bound by Mother Yashoda by her pure love, and Prabhupada explains about how Krishna, he sometimes become controlled by his devotees, and we discuss a lot of things accordingly, isn't it? So that's till text 19. We'll continue from text 23. Let's chant the prayers. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, Hare Krishna. So let's continue from text 20. Text 20. नेमं विरिञ्चो न भावो न श्रीरपि अङ्गसंशरया प्रसादं लेभिर्गोपी यत्तत् प्राप विमुक्तिदात्. Yes, Mataji, can you please read the translation? Jai Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. Neither Lord Brahma, nor Lord Shiva, nor even the goddess of fortune, who is always the better half of the Supreme Lord, can obtain from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Deliverer from the material world, such mercy as received by Mother Yashoda.
So the point is, Mother Yashoda bound Krishna now, isn't it? And out of the cautious mercy of Krishna himself. So Krishna has agreed to get bound by Mother Yashoda, so Mother Yashoda could bound. And this verse says that the mercy what being received by Mother Yashoda, the mercy of being bound by Mother Yashoda, that mercy, what she received, it cannot be obtained, even it's difficult to obtain by for Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, even the goddess of fortune Lakshmi Devi, who is always a better half of the Supreme Lord, right? So that mercy Mother Yashoda received, right? And we also discussed yesterday the verse from Canto 12, chapter 13, first verse, that how Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, Rudra, Maruta, all they pay so many prayers and hymns just to glorify the Supreme Being, isn't it? So let's see the purport. This is a comparative study between Mother Yashoda and other devotees of the Lord. As stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 5.142, Ekela Ishwara Krishna Arasava Bhritya. The only Supreme Master is Krishna and all others are his servant. So this is a very important point actually. So unless and until we come to this point that we are the servant, we are not the master, it's become very difficult for us to advance in our spiritual life. I mean, then again, extra questions happened from Rupesh Prabhu that how people don't, how Krishna could, knowingly provide everything to everyone. But eventually we see that because of our own ego, because of our own false identification, because of the ignorance, we tend to understand ourselves as masters, proprietor, enjoyer. But here being described that Ekela Ishwar Krishna, Krishna is the only supreme master and all others are Bhritya, I mean they are all his servants. So if we understand ourselves as servant, then actually we can go ahead and understand Krishna. And Krishna has the transcendental quality of Bhritya Vatsalya, being subordinate to his Bhritya or servant. So Krishna has one other quality that we discussed yesterday as well. Because of his this transcendental quality, he got agreed to be bound by Mother Yashoda. And because of that quality, Krishna becomes subordinate to his servants. Now, although everyone is Bhritya, and although Krishna has the quality of being subordinate to his Vritya, the position of Mother Yashoda is the greatest. There are different categories of servants, like primary. There are 12. Primary are 5: the Santa, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. And one of those is Mother Yashoda is one of the greatest of that. In Vatsalya, the Mother Yashoda is greatest. No one can surpass Mother Yashoda's love for Krishna as parent. So Lord Brahma is Bhritya, a servant of Krishna, and he is Adi Kavi, the original creator of this universe. The first verse of Bhagavatam, Tene Brahma Hridadi Kavi. So nonetheless, even he could not obtain such mercy as Mother Yashoda could obtain. As for Lord Shiva, he is the topmost Vaishnava. Again from Bhagavatam, Vaishnavana Mitha Sambhu. What to speak of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, the goddess of fortune Lakshmi Devi is the Lord's constant companion in service, since she always associates with his body, but even she could not get such mercy. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit was surprised, thinking, what did Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj do in their previous lives by which they got such a great opportunity? The opportunity to be the affectionate father and mother of Krishna. Right. So in this verse, there are three negative pronunciations. Na, na, na. When anything is uttered three times, do it, do it, do it, and one should understand that this is meant to indicate great stress on the fact. Like we see, our we see here all the time, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, three times, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, 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 three times, Gatiranatha. So these are being giving more stress that nothing is there beyond it, no, just to follow it. So in this verse we find a na levire, na levire, na levire. Yet Mother Yashoda is in the supermost exalted position, and thus Krishna has become completely subordinate to her. The word Bimuktidat is also significant. There are different types of liberation, such as Sahujiya, Salokya, Saropya, Srishti, and Samipya. So these are the 5 kinds of liberation Prabhupada explains here. Right, these are 5 kinds: Sahajiya, Salokya, Sarupya, Srishti, and Samipya. But Bimukti means special mukti, when after liberation one is situated on the platform of prema bhakti. One is said to have achieved vimukti or special mukti. Therefore, the word na is mentioned. That exalted platform of prema is described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as prema pumartho mahan. And Mother Yashoda naturally acts in such an exalted position in loving affair. She is therefore a Nitya Siddha devotee, an expansion of Krishna's Haladini potencies. Her potency is to enjoy transcendental bliss through expansions who are special devotees. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibha Vidavi. Such devotees are not sadhana siddha. So Prabhupada explaining actually couple of technical terms here. First he talks about the different types of liberation. These are 5 types of liberation. So when generally we get liberated, these are the 5 ways. Sahajiya, however, our Vaishnava Acharyas, they they deny this kind of liberation, this first kind of liberation. And in fact, our acharya, they deny all liberation. They just want prema bhakti. However, this sahajiya is kind of sahajiya means very easy. So sahajiya, basically, they this kind of liberation is one where impersonalist thinks about. They wanted to merge themselves in the form of Krishna. They want to merge themselves in the Brahma Jyoti, and they think that once we merge, we become God, or after liberation, we became the supreme. But our acharyas, they deny this. It's never a case where we can become God. Right? Krishna is called Achyuta. He is infallible. He never falls from his positions. He is the always supreme being, and we cannot become God at any point of time. Even in Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Devotion explains more about these points, but our acharyas definitely they reject this kind of liberation. We never ever think of getting Sahutya. And then next one is Salokya. Salokya means Salokya. We get a loka as of Krishna's loka. Then Sarupya. So the devotee, they might get the 400 form in Vaikuntha. In Vaikuntha, Krishna is there with four arms as a Vishnu form. Even his devotees, they also have four arms. So it's kind of Sarupya. But it doesn't mean that they become Krishna. Still they serve with their four hands to Krishna. And then comes Sarishti, and then Samipya. These are five kinds of liberation Prabhupada talks here. And then, however, he says that the devotee are on higher platform. They talk about prema bhakti. Our acharya even say that, oh Krishna, if we take our next life, next birth, even in hellish planet, we are okay. However, just make sure that there are devotees to discuss about your pastimes. We want to discuss your pastimes more than getting any kind of liberation, right? Even the for all the kind of types of liberation been rejected by our acharyas. And then Prabhupada talks about two more important points. He says Nitya Siddha and Sadhana Siddha. So Nitya Siddha are those who are kind of always liberated. They never fall in the category of being being covered by this material nature. Though they are here, they come in this material world, but they are always Nityam is all the time, always Siddha, they are always liberated. They never get contaminated by the three modes. The three modes can never cover them. In very, very brief, we can say that. And sadhana siddha is basically uh, practicing devotees. Like, we do sadhana, we follow the instructions as given by our spiritual masters, by acharyas, and okay, chant 16 rounds, follow these four regulative principles, eat Krishna prasadam, associate with the devotees, go to dham, read Bhagavatam, study Bhagavad Gita, discuss Krishna Katha. These are kind of instruction given to us, so we follow that, and we do. That's called sadhana. And then we get perfection siddha by this following the sadhana. However, this nitya siddha, they are always exalted. They don't fall into in this category, like the gopis, they didn't have to go to read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. That's all okay. They know very well what they are doing. They're always on the Nitya Siddha category. That the Mother Yashoda, one of those like that, right? So these are the couple of technical terms Prabhupada used in this purport. So we just try to explain a bit very, very briefly. If sometimes time permits, we can discuss more on those. However, very brief, Nitya Siddha, those exalted devotees who never come under the control of three modes or Maya. And Sadhana Siddha, they practice devotional service as for the instructions given by the Acharyas or the Guru Parampara. Hope it's clear. Okay, let's go to text 21. नायं सुखापो भगवान् देहिनां गोपिकासुतः ज्ञानीनां चात्मभूतानां यथा भक्तिमताम् इह. Rupesh Prabhu, can you please read the next translation?
Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service. but he is not as easily accessible to mental speculators, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities and penances, or to those who consider the body the same as the self.
Yeah. So, Mother Yashoda is again another term used by spontaneous loving service. So, as we were discussing earlier, the Nitya Siddha and Sadhana Siddha. So, Nitya Siddha are they serve Krishna. They perform devotional service spontaneously. No one has to go and ask them, okay, can you do this thing? Can you chant holy name and do things? They are already on that platform. They already do. No one has to, wake up them with alarm. They will they just get up by their own and they do this activities. And sadhana siddha, they follow the instructions. So Mother Yashoda, as is described, that Mother Yashoda is accessible to devotees. I mean, the Krishna, as the Mother Yashoda, a son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to the devotees who are engaged in spontaneous loving service. However, the yogas, austerity penances, the yoga and siddhis and karma yoga and jnana yoga and dhyana, ashtanga yoga, it becomes very difficult for them to understand Krishna. By speculation, by mental speculation, and by the process of austerity and penances, it's become very difficult to understand Krishna. And also for those who consider the body the same as the self, like the impersonalist, right? Let's see the purport. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yashoda, is very easily accessible to the devotees, but not to tapasvis, yogis, jnanis, and others who have the bodily concept of life. So we need to understand that we are not this body, we are spirit soul, first thing. And then that we are servant of Krishna, we are not the master, the second thing. And third thing, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So otherwise, the yogis, the jnanis, they try to negate things, they try to meditate on Paramatma and go ahead. However, still the conception of Bhagavan, if you remember earlier we discussed about three stages of self-realization: uh, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So still they have not come to the platform of understanding the Bhagavan concept. But still, so that's why it become very difficult for them to access. And we discussed earlier as well, a couple of days back, where from Brahma Samhita, like Krishna is very very easily, who is Durlabha, but he is easily accessible to his devotees, but is not accessible to others, right? So that's even described here as well. Although they may sometimes be called as Santa Bhaktas, the real bhaktis begins with Dasya Rasha. So there are 5 kinds of, there are 12 kinds, but 5 primary and 7 secondary. The 5 primary goes like, first one is Santa Rasa, Santa Bhakta, then Dasya, then Santa Dasya Shakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So even the real bhakti starts from the Dasya. So where the devotee, they become a servant of the Lord, like Lord Hanuman. And then Sakhya, friend of the Lord, Sakhya Arjuna. And then Shantadasha Sakhya, Vatsalya, Mother Yashoda. And Madhurya is the Srimati Radharani, the topmost one, the gopis, like that. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 4.11, Ye tatha mam prabhaddante tam tatheva bhajamaham. Mama vartamanu anuvartate manusyas partha sarvasah. So again, this point comes like Krishna is saying clearly that ye yathamam parpadante, as one surrenders to me, I reward them. Tam tatheva bhajamiham. As we worship Krishna in the mood, Krishna reciprocate in that mood itself. Right. So, and everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. So here it is. As living entities surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So Krishna is not biased. Is our intention what we want from Krishna. As we want, Krishna is going to reciprocate to us. And everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. So what this mean? How does everyone follow the same path? Even If it means, we can say, okay, so the karma yoga and the jnana yoga and dhyana yoga all are same. In one sense, it's all are same, because gradually they will come toward the platform of bhakti, but we don't know when. It might take many birth, right? Depending upon our surrenderness, Krishna going to reciprocate it. And even if we are following karma yoga, at one point of time we understand that, okay, no, the supreme is Krishna and we need to surrender to him. And then as we think of Krishna, Krishna take us to the next stage to us. So everyone is seeking Krishna, for he is the super soul of all individual souls. Everyone loves his body and wants to protect it, because he is within the body as the soul, and everyone loves the soul because the soul is a part and parcel of the supreme soul or super soul. Therefore, everyone is actually seeking to achieve happiness by reviving his relationship with the super soul. So unless and until we understand this point, it becomes difficult to take the next step on the bhakti path. So as the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 15:50, Vedes sarvir ahameva vedyo. So all the Vedas are actually to know Krishna. I'll give you one more proof. Let me share my screen again. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Yeah. So here it is. This verse says in Harivamsa, Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tatha Adavante cha madhye cha Hari Sarvatra Giyate. In all the Vedas, Ramayanas, Puranas, Mahabharata, Lord Hari's glories are sung throughout, in the beginning, middle, and at the end. So it means what? It means that understanding or reading the scriptures is to come to this point, that Krishna is the one who should be known. Vede sarver aham evo vedyo. Vedyo means to know. To know whom? Aham. Krishna is saying is to know me. So all the Vedas are there actually to know Krishna. That's the conclusion. If we read scriptures and we do not understand Krishna, means our studying is still not completed. And if we understand Krishna, then our studies are completed at all. Even if we don't study all the Vedas, but if you know that, okay, Krishna is supreme being, that's all. We got the essence, isn't it? So by all the Vedas, it is I who am to be known. Therefore, the karmis, jnanis, yogis, and the saintly persons are all seeking Krishna. But by following in the footsteps of devotees who are in the direct relationship with Krishna, especially in the inhabitants of Vrindavan, one can reach the supreme position of associating with Krishna. As it is said, Vrindavanam parityajya mam ekam padam ekam na gacchati. So Krishna, he's being said that Krishna never takes a single step out of Vrindavan. So Krishna is always in the Vrindavan. So Krishna does not leave Vrindavan even for a moment. And the Vrindavan Vasis, like Madhura Yashoda, Krishna's friend, Krishna's conjugal lover, the younger gopis with whom he dances, have very intimate relationship with Krishna. And if one follows in the footsteps of these devotees, Krishna is available. So very important point. Footstep, not imitate. We need to follow that footstep, and Krishna is available, right? So although the Nitya Siddha expansion of Krishna always remain with Krishna, if those engaged in sadhana siddhi follow in the footstep of Krishna's Nitya Siddha associate, such sadhana siddhis can easily attain Krishna without difficulty. So we discussed about 2 points earlier: sadhana siddhi and Nitya Siddha. So the sadhana siddha, they follow the footstep of Nitya Siddha, like who are kind of liberated, and whatever they recommend, we follow that. And that's how Krishna becomes easily accessible, right? But there are those who attach to the bodily concerns of life. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, for example, have very prestigious position, and thus they have the sense of being very exalted of Ishwaras. In other words, because Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are Gunavataras and have exalted position, they have some small sense of being like Krishna. But the pure devotees without inhibited Vrindavan do not possess any bodily conception. They are fully dedicated to service of the Lord in sublime affection of prema. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has therefore recommended Prema Pumartho Mahan. The highest perfection of life is Prema, the pure love, in relationship with Krishna. And Mother Yashoda appears to the topmost devotee who have attained this perfection. So we need to follow the steps of Mother Yashoda, isn't it? It's a long purport, but many important points Prabhupada makes in this purport as well. Let's do one more verse before we. कृष्णस्तु गृहकृत्येषु वैराग्यं मातरि प्रभो अदराकृतित अर्जुनो पूर्वं गुह्यौ कौ दन्दामत्मजौ. ये मंगेश प्रभु.
Hare Krishna. While Mother Yashoda was very busy with household affairs, the Supreme Lord, Krishna, observed twin trees known as Yamla Arjuna, which in a former millennium had been the demigods' sons of Kuvera.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
So what happened after binding Krishna? So after binding Krishna, Mother Yashoda went back in her own services in household affairs. And what happened then? The Supreme Lord Krishna observed twins tree known as Yamala Arjuna, or also called as Arjuna trees, which in the former millennium had been the demigods sons of Kuvera. We'll discuss about this in a very soon, about these two sons of Kuvera, Nalakuvera and Manigriva. Right. So I think let's do this last verse as well of this chapter. Text 23. Pura narada sapena vrikshataam prapito madat nalakuvera manigrivau iti khyatau shriyanvitau. Kishore Prabhu, can you please read translation?
Hare Krishna. In their former birth, these two sons, known as Nalakuvara and Manigriva, were extremely opulent and fortunate, but because of pride and false prestige, they didn't care about anyone, and thus Narada Muni cursed them to become trees. Hare Krishna.
So these pastimes of Nalakumar and Manigriva with Narada Muni is being described elaborately in the next chapter, and we will discuss more on those. So in short, what happened is Krishna got bound by the Mother Yashoda in the Ukhala. The grandmother has two reasons: one for the pastime, and one he has to deliver these two sons of Kuvera, Nalakuvara and Manigriva. Right, and we'll see how Krishna goes there and uproot these huge trees and liberate Nalakuver and Manigriva from their curse given to them by Narada Muni. Right, we'll discuss this more tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have Upanishad on Thursday. So purport thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 10th canto, 9th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Mother Yashoda by Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna. So as we have planned to carry on 2 chapters at least, this chapter and next chapter for this Damodar Lila pastime completely, and then we'll try to do something else. Maybe we can go to Gajendra Moksha Lila, or we can try discussing more about this Ashtakam, Damodar Ashtakam, and verse by verse. We'll say check it out. Okay. Anyone have any quick questions, thoughts, comments, or want to share something?
Yes, Prabhu, after anyone else who has any questions.
Okay, bro, I think you can go now. Looks like, yeah.
Okay. Okay, very quickly. I've just written it down. In the beginning, you said Gita Mahatmya Padma, Purana of Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. Is this Gita Mahatmya came before Bhagavad Gita? Is it different? And who is Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa?
Okay, so let me go back to the same screen again. So this one, right?
Yes, in your title, if you
Yeah,
can see. Yeah,
yeah, I can see this one. So Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa is the Vyasa Muni. So Vyasadev.
that's Vyasadeva himself. Okay.
Yeah. So generally we say him Vyasadev, but his full name is Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa.
Ah, okay,
Right.
okay.
And this Krishna Gita Mahatmya is written in Padma Purana, and that a discussion happened between Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva, where I'll start it. I know here. If you see here,
So this is a conversation between Parvati Ma and Lord Shiva?
yeah. So
I see.
this is being described as the Mother Parvati said, "Oh my dear husband, you know all the transcendental truths. And by your mercy, I have heard the glories of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. O Lord, now I long to hear from you the glories of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken by Lord Krishna, and by hearing which one's devotion to Lord Krishna increases." So Mother Parvati, she wanted to hear more about the glories of Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna Dvaipana Vyasadev, he's just writing it again for us to know the glories.
Okay.
So he is the one, he is the Vyasadeva who wrote all the scriptures to us, and the Bhagavatam which we are reading now, this is also being written by Vyasadeva in his maturity. So what happened is in the very beginning, if in the very first canto, is being described like after writing all the scriptures, before that he is the seer who can see very very long, and he could see that this Kali Yuga people, they will be having very very less intelligent, and as this the parampara of this knowledge coming through disciple succession, what happens is earlier that when a guru gives knowledge to his disciples, they used to hear and remember everything. They are called Srutidhara. Once here, it's all there. They don't have to pen down, no notepad, no notebook, no revision, nothing required. It's all there once gone. But as Vyasadeva saw that the Kali Yuga people who is approaching very very fastly, when Krishna leaves this pastimes and goes back, this Kali Yuga people, they will have very very less intelligence. In described very nicely, Prayana alpayushu sabhya kalau asmin vigajana manda sumanda matyo manda bhagya upadirta. He says Prayana, in general, this Kali Yuga people have short life, always agitated, lazy, right, lazy for spiritual injections, and they are misguided and always disturbed and short lived. So short life, misguided, always disturbed, lazy, and whatnot, right? That's why he thought to write down all the scriptures for we people, Kali Yuga people, so that we can read it again and again and understand the essence of our life, right? And then he started writing everything. He wrote all the scriptures, all the Puranas, all everything, and then but still he was not satisfied. And once he was, just imagine an author writes a book and he's not satisfied yet. He's not trying to make money out of this his writings. He just wanted us to get liberated, understand the real essence. So he was a bit not satisfied, and then his guru Narada Muni appeared, and then he asked, "Can you please clarify me why I'm not satisfied? Because you are my guru and you know very well." And then Narada Muni spoke to him, saying that, "See, the point is that you have written all the scriptures. That's very very good. I'm not denying it. It's not it's very very good for all the humanity. However, you miss something essential. You have not glorified Krishna elaborately." He says, "No, I did it. Then Narada Muni says, yes, you did it, but in a very chunk way. People have to find out where Krishna is, right? And you have explained karma kanda in so vividly that people will miss this bhakti part. So you please now describe this Vedanta Sutra and Srimad Bhagavatam, and hence Vyasadev, he wrote in his maturity the Srimad Bhagavatam, which only and only speaks about Bhakti Yoga, though it speaks about Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga as well, just to compare the supremacy of Bhakti Yoga. And then whole 12 canto of Srimad Bhagavatam are talks about the Bhakti Yoga, about Krishna and about his devotees. So that was the very incomparable, inconceivable literature given to us by Srila Vyasadev.
That's amazing. Thank you, Prabhu. And you said that reciting one shloka of Bhagavad Gita destroys sins. But then what about Bhagavatam? Reciting Bhagavatam shlokas, not the same?
Yeah, certainly. See, so I think I've said it, but anyway, this was what we discussed today, right? One chapter, even one sloka, half sloka, or at least one quarter sloka. So let's see the relationship between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So sometimes people they get confused between these two as well. And so Bhagavad Gita is the what? Bhagavad Gita is the literature spoken by Krishna himself. It's coming out from the lips of Krishna. All the Vedic literature, the Vedas, it comes out from the breathing of Mahavishnu, or sometimes from the porous of Mahavishnu, right? And then he gave knowledge again to Brahma, and Brahma expanded it, and then it comes, this disciple succession comes back to us. However, this Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna himself, is coming from the lips of Krishna himself. So we know very well that Vishnu is the expansion of Krishna, and from Vishnu all the Vedas came out. However, Krishna, from his lotus lips, this Bhagavad Gita has come out, right? And the Bhagavatam is what? Is the glories of Krishna and his devotees. So it's one level up higher as well. So and this one context that Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, but Bhagavatam speaks about the glorious pastimes of Krishna with his devotees. Like if you see Dhruv Maharaj pastime, Prahlad Maharaj pastime, Amrish Maharaj pastime, and the Pandavas pastimes, Maitreya Muni and Uddhavas and Maitreya Muni and Vidura's discussions, and Nava Yogendra, Narada Muni, and all these pastimes, they are all related to Krishna only. So the pastimes are we describing in Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters, 700 verses. Bhagavatam has 12 canto, many chapters. I think there are 464 chapters, I think nearly by that, and it got 18,000 of verses. That what we are reading in Canto 10 now, right? So that's the two things, and so these both are related to each other, Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. That makes sense, Prabhu?
Yes. I was just wondering, because it says it destroys sins, Bhagavad Gita. I was just wondering if that's the same for Bhagavatam and
Yes.
Chaitanya Charita Amrita. Does it obviously equally destroy sins, or you need to read Bhagavad Gita as well at the same time?
Yeah. So three literature comes up. You already spoke, right? So what happens is the Bhagavad Gita is generally for all the people. Generally, if you speak to anyone in this world, they somehow that they knew about Bhagavad Gita. They might not have heard it, they might not have read it, they might not have the Bhagavad Gita in their house, but still they have heard about the Bhagavad Gita. And then the higher it goes is Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada explains is like Bhagavad Gita is class 10th, and Bhagavatam is class 12, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is PhD. So it is a triangular way. So it's the Bhagavad Gita is being explained, known to in general. Bhagavatam goes towards Vaishnavas. All the Vaishnava they read Bhagavatam, and then Chaitanya Charitamrita goes more, on top of triangle, like our Gaudiya Vaishnava. So the follower of ISKCON, they read CC. They read anyway all three, but it's kind of, if it's like triangular. Lower part is more broader for all the common people, and then it's got more thinner for the Vaishnavas, and then the lower is was our Gaudiya Vaishnava, Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Uh, and finally, you said Krishna himself never leaves. Well, Krishna never leaves, steps
Vrindavan.
foot outside Vrindavan. So, but then if he's all pervasive, he hasn't really left our side, or he hasn't stepped foot out anywhere. What's the difference? He's still all around us, within us.
Yeah,
Um,
he is all pervasive. So when it is being described, there's a two thing. So it's like, let's see, sun globe, right? So sun globe is there, but when we see sunshine, do we see that sun has come to our house, or just sun rays came? Just sun rays, just sun rays, not sun.
mm,
So sun rays is what? Sun rays is connected to sun itself. He is not disconnected. Without sun, we can't see sun rays at all. Like, that's one example. Let's say another example. Let's say the company, Microsoft, who is the CEO?
yeah, Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. So do you think that the office of Microsoft in Glasgow, Bill Gates is here? No, but that office also belongs to Bill Gates, isn't it?
Mm,
So it means what? Krishna, the Syama Sundara form, he's always there in Vrindavan. At the same time, when he goes out for other activity, like creation of this world and other pastime, going to Mathura and Dwarika, he expands his energies and goes over there.
right.
Makes sense?
Yes.
That's the context. So Krishna never goes away from Vrindavan, and then, however, he goes out as well. So when Krishna goes out, Vishnu going out, and when Vishnu comes back in Vrindavan, he merged back to Krishna. So Krishna there. So it's kind of a Prakat and Aprakati Lila. So when Krishna is doing pastime in Vrindavan, he is doing Prakati Lila, and as he goes out, he still remain there, but it's hidden for everyone. And Vishnu goes and does his pastimes over there.
Right. So personally, he's always there, but his emanations is always projected
Yeah. And again,
within us.
the devotees, they perceive in a different way. Like the Gopas, is we discuss the Gopas, they have never thought that Krishna has went out to Mathura or Dwarika.
Mm.
They never thought, though Mother Yashoda and then the gopis, they are thinking that Krishna has gone, we are waiting for him. The gopis and the Radha, and they are all crying, but still the gopis always see Krishna there, right? So anyway, that's another part of discussion, but that's how Krishna never goes out. And the same context, it been described that our Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, he has become so merciful that that Krishna who never goes out of Vrindavan, that Krishna, Prabhupada brought Krishna to the whole world, right? Through the Society of Krishna Consciousness. Everyone in this world is hearing about Krishna. And if you see the Vrindavan now, Kartik month going on. Kartik month is going on, and Vrindavan is being populated completely by by all the devotees of ISKCON. Right, I was there, 3 years back, and then one of the rickshaw men, he's saying, because of Prabhupada, the Kartik month we earn a lot. With all the foreigners, they come here, right? All the rooms and hotels are all packed. All the rickshaw men, all the people, they are completely busy with the service, and they are all earning money as well. That's a different story. But the point is, because of Prabhupada's teachings across all world, this Kartik month, everyone is trying to go there, at least take spend some time in Vrindavan, isn't it? So
That's just amazing. It's a Vrindavan has come to us literally in this month,
yeah,
hasn't it?
yeah,
Right
yeah,
in our personal space. Wow. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you for a wonderful class, and thank you for asking, and the devotees for asking the nice questions that help me deepen my understanding of Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So,
Thank you,
Granthaj
Prabhu.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki,
Yeah,
Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
yeah.